Shall we start now?
Yep, I see. Kyle is the host, so he will keep bringing people in when they are coming into the room.
Mhm.
And I will start. You can start introduction, and I will go and explain the PDO, and then at the end we'll do kind of questions. We'll take questions.
Sure. Okay, so hi everyone. It's 8 p.m. here in Indonesia, and it's like 1 p.m. according to UTC time zone. My name is Robby. So we have Yoda today from PDO Finance. I believe that you are great, Yoda, even with that 2 hours of sleep. So yeah, today topic is about the PDO finance. We have circulated the news about this AMA in our community. Maybe some of them have different time zone, and some of them they just tune in and they would like to understand more about what is PDO finance. Actually, there's one message that I'm still interested in to know. You mentioned about investing without investing, right? So are you going to cover that topic today?
Yeah. So it's going to be a extremely exciting AMA. First is the first AMA that you're conducting with video and everything, right? On your
Yes, it
platform,
is.
right?
It is. It is our first video AMA. We used to have like a text AMA, but then yeah, I think that it's also a good idea
All right,
to conduct
good.
some.
So
Yeah.
this AMA is recorded, so we will also have a copy to share later on for all those that couldn't join us today.
Mhm.
Um, and it's extremely exciting because a lot of people building stuff based on other people idea, like copycats. So you don't see much renovation um, in this industry, right? Somebody creating Uniswap, boom, everybody creating Uniswap with different name. So first, there is not much renovation. But the point that I'm trying to make is not how much you renovate the existing code and take it one step forward or two step forward. Sometimes, and it's very rare, you see 100 step forward, right? And our company, our mother umbrella company called Quantum Finance. And the reason that we call it Quantum Finance is because we're building stuff that are based on quantum finance models. And what that means is that it's not quantum computer. Quantum finance meaning that, and it's very new, by the way, for those that I think that they really know that it's not really well known. It's a little bit start to be exist on the stock market in some form, but it's really new over there too. And it's never been even introduced to the world, definitely not in the blockchain. We are the first in the world to bring into the blockchain. So what is quantum finance means is that instead of have a code with a logic that say true or false, 0 and 1, happen, didn't happen, or if will happen A, B will follow, right? Stuff like that. Then quantum finance opened the door to unlogic multi-positions. Suddenly, instead of true and false, you can have true and true. You can have true and false simultaneously. So in other words, if I translate that to investor point of view, you can invest without invest. You can invest without vesting. You can basically invest without losing. Stuff that doesn't make sense at the beginning to the regular mind until you actually explore them and understand how they work. So we have a lot of projects and we are acting as a B2B, which means we are not basically building stuff in order to bring it to the end user. We're building stuff in order to have partners. That's the time to say is that your project basically been approved to be one of our partners. And you will have your own PDO licensing on your own platform. And That's what we do. We're building stuff, and then we partner with the right top tier people that we believe that can be good fit. And today, when I will introduce the PDO for the first time, I will also show how you can invest without invest, right? So that will be a part that will be very interesting. So first thing first, let's start by what is PDO, right? What's going on? And maybe at the end, maybe Kyle can say a few words about also the program, the reward program that we put together for people to enjoy from voucher rewarding and everything. So at the end, I will let Kyle to introduce that part, what that means, how they can get reward, what tasks they need to do, how they can benefit from that and everything. So let's start by talking about the PDO. So PDO, the first thing that you noticed when you basically checking what is the PDO is that the PDO is not an IDO. It's not ICO. It's not IEO. It's nothing that's starting with I, right? Usually when you have stuff that's starting with I, they are standing for initial offering. Initial offering is that when project want to go to the market for the first time, it's kind of conducting something like it's like a pre-sale concept, inviting people to be the first buyer, and in exchange for that is grant them some discount, right? That's the initial offering. And what's the problem with the initial offering? There is no problem beside the fact that you cannot repeat and do it again and again. So what that means is that if a project, for example, doing initial offering for 1 cent, 10 cent, or $1, and he finished the initial offering, and then he go to the market, so that means that the token is no longer 1 cent, 10 cent, or $1. Now you have to fluctuate it. Now there is buy and sell power, so the price of the token start to move, correct? So instead of 1 cent, it may be 2 cents or 4 cents, or instead of $1, it may be half a dollar, $2. So if a project will want to conduct another initial offering, it cannot do that. It cannot so come to the public and say after half a year, hey, I want to do another initial offering, a second one, and I will give 50% discount over the current price in the market. Because the moment that you will say those words, the price from $2 will drop to whatever the offer is, because people will drop it in order to buy the offering. So why it's so important? It's important because crypto project, believe it or not, it's a startup. It's like a startup industry, right? It's a baby project that tried to make it into the world. And as you know, in the startup industry, there is 95% failure rate. 95% of all startups do not make it. And the reason that do not make it, and there is research about it, is because something called the value of death, which means they didn't have a bad idea or bad team or bad tech. That could be a reason, but it's not the most of the reason. Most of the reason is the value of death. Value of death meaning that they couldn't have enough money to keep going, right? They didn't have the run rate. They just run out of money. And that's the real reason why startup fails. Now, in the startup world, it's a little bit easier, because in startup world, if you done a pre-sale, like a seed run, you can do another seed, you can do pre-A, you can do A. So at least you have a few options to try to recruit more money in exchange for equity. With crypto project, you cannot do that again and again and again, right? Now, if the team have tokens or treasury tokens, they cannot take their token, go to decentralized exchange or centralized exchange and dump those tokens in order to recruit money. Because maybe the project is so new and the daily trading is so low that the moment that the project will dump into the market a lot of tokens in order to try to recruit more money, it will put a lot of sell pressure, and the buy pressure will not be able to take it. A lot of projects have $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 daily trading. It's nothing, right? It's nothing. It cannot support basically to the project to use it in order to raise more money. Obviously, the project cannot go to Uniswap or PancakeSwap and take money from the pool. That will be considered rug pulling, big no-no, right? So in other words, project right now stuck. They have a lot of tokens. They cannot conduct another pre-sale. They cannot dump the token. They cannot do rug pulling, right? So what is it that they do? What everybody is doing, right? Everybody is doing something which is a big no-no to do. Everybody is doing something called staking, right? What is staking? Staking meaning that you reach out to your users and you say to them, hey, do you mind to take your tokens, put it into a smart contract lock for 30 days, 6 months, 12 months, just lock it, right? In order to reduce the sell pressure from the market, you solicited user to lock the token for some period of time in exchange for free token. You basically say to someone, do you mind instead of dumping today to dump 6 months down the road, and I will give you more free tokens so you can become to be more dumper. That's what it is. You just basically give away more free tokens for people. So after the vesting is over, the lockup is over, they will fight who is going to dump first. There will be a race to the bottom. So all you did is just delay the future by a little bit and give people more ammo to shoot you down even faster. But what if the bear market is take longer? What if it's more than 1 month? What if it's more than 1 year? Nobody knows how long it can be. How long can you lock people? How long can you give them free tokens, right? So that's basically, there is a sentence, it's called the rule of holes. It says that if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging, right? And that's the problem. Project cannot raise money, they cannot sell the tokens, they cannot basically do rug pulling. So the only thing that they have been left with is to use the treasury token, the team token, in order to do staking. But basically, as you can see, it's not really helping. It's just delaying and multiply the future. So that's the issue that we are facing. And that's exactly what the PDO is come to answer. So let me share my screen and let's go into it and try to understand what is the PDO is all about. So see, tell me when you can see a screen. I think you muted, but I see that, so that means you can see it. All right, good. So the PDO, it's standing for post. It's not standing for initial offering. It's post-DEX offering, which means it's designed for existing project that are already in the market. It doesn't matter if they market for 1 hour, 1 minute, if they have a lot of liquidity, a little bit liquidity, it doesn't matter, but they're in the market, right? They're already launched. And you can see here that this is basically, it's not a testnet, it's a mainnet, but we're still doing testing. So all those projects that you see here is basically mainnet testing that we are conducting. And in a few days, we will basically open the PDO for project. There was some of the projects that already start to utilize it, but in a few days, we will go and introduce to the PDO to the world. We will do, I don't know if it's a few days or 2 weeks, or we'll know the exact date, but we'll do live AMA with CoinGecko, with Cointelegraph, and we will basically do covering story, and we will welcome, we have a lot of partners right now that building their own basically licensing. So for example, if I want to just to show example of your licensing. So basically you're working on your own look and feel right now. So it's under development, but basically it will have your own logo, your own design, your own look and feel, and it will be with your own domain. And let's dive to see what is the PDO answering, why it's so cool, why it can change the game when it's come to existing project, which is, by the way, something very interesting, because everybody building IDO stuff or initial offering stuff in order to help project to go to the market. but how many helping projects to stay in the market? I mean, think about it. How many projects launched on 2017 and how many survived during the bear market to 19? How many launched during 19 and survived to 21, right? How many launched in 21 and will survive maybe on 2023? So a lot of projects dying. I actually checked it out and I realized that in Ethereum network only, and obviously EVM, there is more than 300 blockchain EVM, right? But in Ethereum network only, there was more than 500,000 tokens that been launched. Most of them died before they even scale, right? Some of them went to the market and died right after. So the point is that in the early days, 2017, you used to see people raising zillion babillion, like $100 million, right? Based on white paper, right? But then on 2019, you saw projects raising tens of millions of dollars, but investors didn't want white paper anymore. They want to see a prototype, right? They want to see that you have some technology. On 2021, a project didn't raise tens of millions. They raised only $1 million, but investors didn't want to see a prototype anymore. They want to see basically an alpha with community around it, right? Maybe next year, during the bull market, investor first project will not raise millions. Maybe they will raise hundreds of thousands, like a startup, right? But investor no longer will want to see a prototype with community. Maybe they will want to see a beta with some income stream, with some purchasing, with some proof of success, that to see that there is a fit to the market that user usually using that, right? So as you can see, the amount that crypto project is raising is going down, and it's starting to look like startup. But the demand that investors looking to see, it's going up, which is again starting to look like startup. Investors want to see more proof of success, more proof of concept, but they want to pay less and less until you will prove that you have a winner, right? So how a project that conduct a pre-sale and raise, let's say $500,000 or a few $100,000, how he can make it during a bear market if he cannot raise money again, right? How? And this is what the PDO is coming to solve. So the PDO is basically a new staking model. It's a different staking model I will show today, and it's also designed to be a follow-on of fundraising, which means the project can raise more money as it goes, which means forever and ever it can keep raising money from this platform for the project, so the team can keep running the show. And we don't want projects to raise, millions of dollars, or $500,000, or even $100,000 from users, and then die because they don't have enough money to keep going, and then the user lost the entire money. Even if it's $100,000, it's still a lot of money, right? So we don't want projects to die just because they're running out of money. If they're a good team, good idea, good concept, they should keep going, and that's platform designed to help them out how to do that. So what's the idea here? So the idea here is that a project that already been launched, taking the team token or the treasury token, right? And instead of doing staking with that, is basically doing a PDO with that, right? So I will show you in a second how I open a PDO and how it works. And the main idea is that it's offering to the user to come and buy the token from the PDO instead of going and buying it someplace else. Now, why somebody will do that, right? Today, if you are a project in the market, let's say you are a BEC, right? A bakery token, right? And let's say you exist on PancakeSwap, right? Why user will come to the PDO to buy the BEC instead of go to PancakeSwap like today? And the answer is that if somebody want to buy the BEC token, you do understand that it's not BNB, it's not Ethereum, it's not Polygon, it's not Matic, it's not token that is utility token that you need to use it in order to participate in IDO, or ICO, or whatever, or gaming. It's not a bridge token that you need to move from A to B and you need a temporary. So it's not a utility token. If you bought the BEC token, most likely there is no use for that besides holding that as an investor. And if you decide to buy that, most likely the BEC company, the bakery token company, like any other, like Sushi and everything else, most likely they have some staking program. So usually when you go to PancakeSwap and you buy in the back token, first you have a slippage, right? If I will go to PancakeSwap and I will inject, let's say, let's do it right now. Let's say I'm going to PancakeSwap, right? And I want to find this token that's called back. So this is the token, right? And let's say I want to buy, let's use for a second something that is $10,000, right? So if I want to spend $10,000 to buy this token, right? Basically what will happen, I will receive 27,645, but if I will look over here, that's the real amount that I will receive, right? That's the minimum after the slippage, because I will have a slippage, may have front running, I will have price impact. Look on the price impact, right? So I will have basically 27,510. So let's divide that to basically squeeze out what's the price will be, right? So if we're looking on 27,651.8, right? 27,645, and we want to see basically how much we spend for that. So we're taking the 10,000, 27,657, right? Okay, so we spend 0.3635, right? So if you're coming basically to the PDO, you see what is the best market price. So the best market price right now in the market is basically 0.22. Do you see here? That's the price that's coming directly from the pool, from PancakeSwap. That's the real-time price from the market. But if I will push $10,000, I will not get 0.22. I will buy each token for 0.36, which means I almost losing here like almost 14 cents, which is like 50%. Actually, if I'm dividing that, 0.222, it's like actually I'm paying 63 more percent. 63, oh my God, 63% more above the market. So if I will go to PancakeSwap and buy any token that is on PancakeSwap or Uniswap, doesn't matter, I will have a slippage. So if I will push $10,000, I will have a slippage, and therefore I will not get each token for this price, right? And second, if I will push $10,000, the project will not going to enjoy from appreciation of $10,000 because somebody will do a front running, because I just showed you here that if you go to PancakeSwap, look on the slippage, the price impact, right? So somebody, a bot, will do a front running, and it will basically take most of this money. So the value of the back token will not going to increase in the market because somebody going to steal that money. So I paid more. The project didn't benefit from that, right? That's the reality. And then after I will buy those tokens, what I will do with them? I will go to some staking that this company created someplace else, and then I will do another transaction, and I will basically put those tokens in that staking model, right? In that staking program. So that's the reality today. And now I want to show you alternative. I want to show you something new that is basically changing the game completely for everybody, project user, everybody, okay? So let's say I want to launch a PDO, and let's do it fun. Let's say I want to take one of the projects that I think you already launched on your platform, right? This one. This is a project that you host back then, and you raise money with you, correct? And let's use them, right? Let's do that. So let's go after this project, and let's buy some token. I think I already bought some before our meeting. Let me double check just to make sure that I did, because I tested out earlier. Here we go. You see here, I bought some token from this one. This is my testing wallet, so I bought here 25,000 token. Let's go ahead and open a PDO for that. So the first thing that we want to do is basically we want to have the smart contract. Obviously, whoever have this project, if it's the team, you have the smart contract. But the PDO is not just for the team to do it. PDO can be basically also for maybe could be employees, developer, advisors that receive team token or advisory token, and they don't want to crash the market by selling it to the market because maybe they want to hold a little bit and sell a little bit. So the PDO can be for everybody. So what I do, I come in over here and I take basically the smart contract because I didn't know what it is. And then I come into the PDO, right? And then click over here, launch PDO. And what I do, I put basically the smart contract here. And then what's happening is asking me what I want to do. I want to open a PDO as a fixed sell or Dodge auction. I can choose both, right? Let's say fixed sell just for the moment. And then he asked me what AMM, what DEX I want to choose. Pay attention that the PDO is not a DEX. PDO, it's not AMM. PDO, it's a layer on top of all AMMs that exist in the world. Right now, it's running on PancakeSwap, actually Binance Smart Chain, so we can actually add even any other DEX from Binance Smart Chain. But in a week time-ish, like next week, we will open the door for the entire EVM, which means it will support Ethereum, Polygon, everything. All the EVM, 300 EVM will be able to add, and people will be able to come over here. They will be dropped down, and they can choose any MM that they want, even a new one in Saudi Arabia that's been created a moment ago, right? So you can add here any EVM, sorry, any MM that your project is on, and then you choose the pool that your project is on. It doesn't matter which pool you choose. In our case, let's choose BNB pool because it's the larger. And then let's say we're starting PDO today because we want to go live effective immediately. And then it can run as long as we want. PDO can run all year long, as many years as you like. It can run 1 month, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, forever and ever. The difference between IDO, by the way, to PDO is that IDO, you have initial offering, so you have initial price, which means 1 cent or 10 cent or $1. And once you hit the market, the price starts to change, right? But with PDO, what's really happening is that with PDO is that the price is changing in real time. I will show you here. When you're coming to the PDO and you want to check prices, right? So you can see here, every time someone will do transaction and the pool will change on PancakeSwap, the price will change here in real time. So what that means is that if the price right now is 22, and I believe before it was 222, now it's 221, right? So every time the price changing on the market, it's also changing here in real time. So if price go up, the PDO is follow. If it's going down, the PDO is follow. So forever and ever, if somebody will come into the PDO, is forever going to have the price based on the current market. So if some project running a PDO, what is really offering to the user, you offer them, instead of go to PancakeSwap and buy the token from the pool with slippage and front running, like I explained, you say to the user, buy the token from the project, but there will be no front running and there will be no slippage. In other words, if you will spend $10,000 to buy back from the project, you will get for the entire $10,000 the same value of the first token, which means zero slippage, zero front running. So for the user, not only that it's saving money because of the slippage and the project earning money because there is no front running, but also it's a one-click button. Here we go. You see? The price has been changed a second ago. So every time the pool change, the price change. And therefore, you can keep going and do it even after you launch. So it's following basically the price forever and ever. And the idea is that when you're buying a token from the pool, you also have a building staking. So you don't need to buy the token from PancakeSwap and then go someplace else and inject it to staking. You have one package, one click, you have everything, right? And you can see here that, let's say I want to run the project until the end of the month or whatever. And then I choose how many tokens I want to basically use as supply. I can choose any amount. If I, as a project or whoever opened the PDO, decided that I changed my mind, I always can come back to the PDO and say, you know what, I put too much. I want to withdraw some of the token I put, right? So I can always withdraw them. And then I need to choose on staking period, right? So I can choose 12 months, like 365 days. I can choose 30 days. By the way, there is a lot of projects that offering 50% APY a year, right? So theoretically, if you're offering 50% APY a year, it's theoretically like to say to someone 180% APY for 30 days. From math point of view, it's exactly the same. But from marketing point of view, it's not the same. Because when users see 180% for 30 days, it looks like more lucrative. It's look like more interesting offering compared to 50%. And it can drive more users, right, to the project. So here you can see that the 25,000 splitting 21 to allocation and 3,221 go to APY, right, based on those numbers. Now, I can also choose other stuff like, do I want to do KYC for the user? Do I want to burn the token? Whatever didn't sell get burned. Do I want to do a dumper shield? We may talk about it later. Do I want to limit the user, how many tokens they can buy or how many money they can invest? And also here, there is liquidity protection. So what that means? That means that once I'm going to sell the tokens to the user directly, instead of go to PancakeSwap, they will buy directly from the project, from the PDO. The PDO asked me, what do you want me to do with the money? Let's say somebody, instead of put 10,000 on the PDO, on PancakeSwap, will put here. What do you want me to do with this $10,000? And the answer is that you can choose as a project or wherever open the PDO what to do with that. You can say, I want 100% of the money that's recruiting to go to the team wallet, because we need to pay salaries, right? So the PDO will let you do that, but it's subject that you can see here, the liquidity for this company, right, have 66,000. Do you see here, 66,000? So the PDO will let you to take tokens, sell token and take the liquidity out, but no more than 50%, which means 2-to-1 ratio, which means no more than $33,000, you can do that. So if you reach to 33,000, the PDO will say to you, either we stop until the liquidity increase, or from every dollar that's coming in, I need to inject 66 cents to the liquidity, and then the rest will come to the team. Why? Because PDO doesn't want team to raise money, and after people finish staking, they will come to the pool and there is no money in the pool, right? You want to keep a ratio so there will be enough liquidity in the pool when people want to come and have liquidity. So that's why it keeps the ratio 2-to-1. And then you can basically send the money to the dumper shield, which will allow you to cash out early investor. We'll talk about it later. Or you can decide that 100% of the money will go to the liquidity pool, right? Let's do this one, right? Let's say 100% of the money go to the liquidity pool. So first, what that means? That means that if 100% of the money go to the liquidity pool, that means that the pool that you chose on the DEX that you chose, which is in our case was PancakeSwap, and I believe it was BNB with this company, right? So what that means is that whoever going to invest money, the PDO will take that money, it will go to PancakeSwap, it will go to the pool, but it will not go like a user. There is a mechanism here that preventing fund running attack. And what you will do, it will use 50% of the money in order to buy from the pool tokens, which means the pool value will go up, right? Because basically money coming in. And the rest of the 50%, it will use again to push back to create liquidity. So basically, we're using $5,000 buy pressure, and then we take that 5,000 and another 5,000 token, and we push and we create another 10,000. So it's a total of $50,000, right? Of buy pressure and liquidity, and then we'll create $10,000 of liquidity. And you can see here that the PDO being created for this project, right? Now pay attention, I didn't put a logo, I didn't put the name of the project, I didn't put anything. And the reason for that is because the PDO is completely decentralized. If I will allow a user to add a logo or the name of the project or the value of the token, what will happen is that people may go to, it's funny, I say I'm going to buy and people bought into this project. It used to be 2.2, now it's 2.7. Our audience doing front running. Okay, no problem. Fun. So the point is that when you're doing IDO, it's not decentralized because the project need to choose a logo and information and links and white paper, and project can scam users. They can pretend that there's something else. So sometimes the IDO platform need to validate the project, need to do the diligence. So the entire idea is not decentralized, and we don't do anything that is not decentralized. And here you can see the logo is coming automatically, the name is automatically, the price is automatically. You can even check what is the project liquidity. It will take you to the DEX tool to see what we saw before, all the information. And you can even learn about the project, because if you go, for example, to the Binance Merchant Scan, they already check you out, and all the information, including white paper and everything and social media, it's already here, right? So the point that I try to make is that a lot of people that doing IDO or investing in IDO, they need to conduct the diligence, right? They need to learn about the project. They need to check what the idea. And here it's not IDO. This is existing project. You may invest in this project before, right? You may even have some token of this project in your wallet, right? And the point is that sometimes people go to Binance or other places and buy token based on the graph. You know, they see the graph, they're looking on the graph. Let's look on the graph, right? So they're looking on the graph and they say, oh, is this a good opportunity or this is not good opportunity? So they kind of examining the project based on the graph and decided whether it's good opportunity or not, right? And the same idea is here. The idea is that if you're a project that's launching a PDO, user may examine you based on who you are right now. And if I will come over here, I can come and push, basically, the maximum I can push right now is $59. If I will do that, what will happen, and let's see what is going to change. What will happen, and it's only $59, right? It's garnish, it's nothing. So let's see how much it can change or move the needle, right? 180% APY, okay, 59. So I'm going to do that. This is the price. So let me put that in the chat. So we will have a record, or maybe you can do that. Put that in the chat. So we'll have a record. What's the price before I'm clicking on invest? Did you do that? Copy this price, and let's see if it's going to be changed. Got it? Okay. So I'm going to buy those tokens with this offering, right? It's small amount, but let's see what is going to change. And now in the real time, the PDO basically doing everything that I said, right? If going to the pool, buying 50% of the token. By the way, when the PDO buying the token, creating a liquidity, the liquidity is basically being given to the project, which means the project going to own the liquidity. So it's better than user putting liquidity and tomorrow they disappeared. Here, the project become to be the owner of the liquidity. In other words, it's more sustainable liquidity, because over the time, the project himself will be the owner of the liquidity, so it's much more sustainable. All right, do you see this boom? This is me, right? You see that? So this boom is me. The reason that you see the price going back then, because it's front running, right? Our user basically dump. So the dump the moment I pushed, right? But you can see here that the price has been changed, right, in real time, right? And bot will not going to do front running because we have a front running protection. So it's only human being can immediately sell, right? But the point I showed you that I pushed what? $60, which is nothing, right? And what happened, I changed the price and I bought directly from all my token. Instead of go to PancakeSwap and lose to PancakeSwap, I basically bought my entire token from here, right? So this is the graph. You see how boost is give us? Look at the price, how from where it used to be here, 0.2 something, and I boosted all the way to 0.09. So, right, it's explode. And the idea is that when people doing initial offering, sometimes they're raising 100,000, 1 million, 10 million, whatever, right? But initial offering is a small business. It's nothing compared to staking. Staking industry is by far larger than initial offering. It's also longer, right? So imagine yourself combining those two. So instead of people doing a small initial offering and then become a dumper and then going to lose for slippage and then run front running and then going to do staking, imagine yourself by one click that can have everything with all the benefit. So basically the project can utilize the power of that staking in order to keep increasing. For the first time ever, and it's never been done before, you never saw someone doing staking and the price go up as you stake, or the liquidity go up as you stake. Today, the staking is like a river. It's a floating water. You're just looking at moving from side to side. But what we're talking about here is taking that power and created electricity. We're leveraging that power. We're making more of nothing, right? We're creating the scenario and doing more. Now, pay attention that there is no education here. We didn't say, hey, let's create a new concept that people will buy new token in a new added value or kind of a mechanism that they're not familiar with it. No, we hijacking traffic from Uniswap. We hijacking traffic from PancakeSwap. If someone wants to go to the project to buy token, and every day people buy token, because if you're live and you have token, even Dogecoin or whatever, it doesn't matter which token you have in the world, every day you have buy power and sell power. Obviously, during a bear market, you have more sell power than buy power, right? And during a bull market, it's the other way around, that you have more buy power than sell power. But every day you have to have both. You have to have both. Otherwise, your price will go like that or will go like that, right? So every day you have buy power and sell power. All we do here is say to people, why do you want to go to PancakeSwap? Why do you want to go to Uniswap? It's exactly the same token, right? And we hijacking the traffic. If Uniswap have a billion of traffic and PancakeSwap have a billion traffic, we hijacking the exact traffic and we give to the user more and we give to the project more, and it's benefit everybody. So that's why it's not changing the behavior. It's just giving added value to people that they're about to do anyway, whatever they're about to do. Does that make sense? Right? All right. So this is the PDO. As you can see here, I bought it. Now, do you see here something called Secure Future? Let's talk about it, because we mentioned before, how can we invest without investing, right? So what is Secure Future? So Secure Future is basically when you want to buy a token, right? Let's say you want to buy Doge, okay? And you know Doge, everybody know Doge token. And let's say you don't want to buy Doge token right now because maybe you're thinking that, I don't know, maybe Elon Musk go cuckoo and tomorrow he will change the game and the Dogecoin will go from wherever it is, even below, because every time he's open his mouth, something bad happened, right? So maybe you want to see he's about to go to some live show again, right? You want to see what's going to happen. Maybe. But maybe the other thing it will happen. Maybe we'll say something good and everything will explode. So sometimes you're not sure if you want to invest and you don't want to invest because you don't know if the team or the advisory or something else will perform as you think it will perform, right? You have doubt. Sometimes it's not about the project. Sometimes it's the market. Maybe the market going sideways, like now. Nobody knows. Are we going into deeper bear? Are we going out of the bear? What's going on? It's not clear. Every time people talking, and you can see that there is a debate. Where are we going, right? So when the market going sideways, what people usually do, they are not investing. So you probably saw on your own IDO that there is high volume during bear market, low volume during bear market, right? People investing less because when the bear market is hitting or when there is a doubt, people doesn't invest much because they don't know what to do, right? So most of them, what they do, they take their money and they go to Compine, they go to Earn Finance, they go to Venus, they go into those protocols and they put the money to work in order to generate passive income, APY, because they don't want to sell every time the token to USD and get fiat money. So they put the money to work as a staking, right? And if you will go to Compine and all those places, you'll see that they have billions of dollars staking, right? Billions with a B, right? Big money, right? Some of them even tens of billions, right? Now, the secure future is basically a new way how to invest without investing. That's where the quantum finance taking place, right? So I will show you right now how you can basically leverage the reality to invest without investing. And whatever the outcome will be, you will benefit from that, right? So first thing first, what's going on? Instead of going and invest in the PDO directly, you come in over here and you're basically investing into the secure future, right? You can invest any amount that you like. Instead of go to the PDO, you invest in the secure future. And then what will happen, let me open that. There we go. So let's say you're pushing your money, your $10,000, instead of buying Dogecoin, you push it to the secure future. What will happen to your money? Let's say $10,000 you invested, right? What will happen? What will happen is that your money will go to work, which means the PDO will take your money instead to the pool and to the PDO in real time, like we saw before. It will take it to Venus and Combine and Earth Finance or whatever it's existing on the network, the chain that you're coming from, and it will put it for staking for you in the same terms like you go directly. So again, we hijacking existing traffic. If you're about to go to Venus to put your $10,000 to work, basically by doing that, it's exactly the same. You actually put your money to work on Venus. And I will show you here that once I put the money here, let me go over here and show you the transaction. So once you go here, you basically, you see what's happened? Your money pushed to Venus, right? So basically your money go to Venus, you can see here, and right now it's taking on Venus. So that's me pushing that amount, and you can see that right now it's been pushed to Venus, right? And it's taken. And what that means that if the PDO is running for 1 year, let's say as an example, and let's say I don't want to make decision right now. Like I said, I'm not solid with my mind. I don't know what the market or Elon Musk will do. I want to wait. And I can wait. I can wait 1 hour. I can wait 1 day. I can wait 1 year. I can wait any amount that I like, and I can change my mind during that time freely, right? But let's say I will wait 364 days. So I will wait for the last minute. Instead of making decision, I want to wait for the end and see what's going to happen. If my decision will be, I don't want to invest in Dogecoin, right? I'm pretty sure I don't want to invest. All I need to do is click over here, say to Dogecoin, no, thank you for your APY. I remind you that it's not real APY. It's a testing, mainnet testing. So I put that APY. So all I need to do is say, no, thank you. I don't want to invest. I pass on your offering. Give me back my money. And if I will do that, what will happen, not only that I will get my BNB directly from Venus, basically I will get any staking that I'm supposed to get exactly like I go to Venus directly. So it's exactly like to go to Venus and stake with Venus, nothing changed, right? But if I will decide that I want to invest, all I need to do is click on claim, right? And if I will claim, I will basically say to the project, listen, take my money from Venus and put it into the PDO, right? And buy the Dogecoin offer. And what that means is that I can do it anytime. I can do it, like I say, after 1 minute, after 1 hour, after 1 week, after 1 month, even after 364 days, right? Now here, I want to show you something on Excel, why it's making sense, right? Why this logic, why this concept is basically going to be so making sense that everybody most likely going to execute, right? Going to execute the investment after all. Can you see my Excel? All right, cool. So let's assume for a second that you have a Dogecoin token for, let's say, 10 cents, okay? Let's put a value for that. And let's say you want to buy into the Dogecoin $10,000, right? Now, if you know today that it's better for you to go to the PDO and buy it than go to PancakeSwap, because then you will get 0 slippage, so you get 100,000 token based on 10 cents. There is no slippage, right? Now, if the project is offering, for example, let's say 100% APY, what you know is that if you will wait for 1 year, you will get addition of 100,000 token, right? And at the end, you will end up with still 100,000, right? That's regular scenario. If you come into the PDO, invest your money in the PDO, that's clear, right? But we're not talking about the PDO. We're talking about the secure future. So secure future meaning that, as we said, you don't want to make a decision yet, right? You want to wait. So what's happened to your money? It go to Venus. Let's say Venus give you 10% APY a year, right? Average, right? Between 8 to 12, let's say 10, for example. So how much you will supposed to gain from Venus? The answer is $1,000, correct? That's how much you're supposed to receive from Venus. So let's do two scenarios now, good and bad, right? Let's assume that the Dogecoin, after 1 year, explode, right? And again, it proved to everybody that it's a good investment, and it done another 10x, all the way to $1, right? Now, in reality, if you put your money really in Venus, actually in Venus from the beginning, and the project is booming, as you know, project don't boom over a few months. Sometimes it's booming by a few hours, a few minutes, or overnight, right? It's very fast, like bull run. So once it jumped 10x, you may have a feeling, oh, I missed the trend. Doge already boomed. Maybe I will go to Shiba now, right? Because you already feel that if you will put your money in and buy at $1, maybe the price will bounce back to half a dollar, and maybe you will lose 50% of your money, right? So in reality, if that will happen and the project will boom 10x and you didn't invest in it, you most likely will have a concern. Should I invest or should I not invest? And maybe you will not invest because you will afraid to lose, right? But look what's happening here with the secure future. If the secure future basically grant you the right to change your mind, it's like Back to the Future, right? I give you a ticket. I say to you, let's see how the future going to play. And in the future, if you see that it's playing well, you can go back in time and change your mind. So let's say you'll decide to invest on $1. So let's say you take this $10,000 and you say, you know what? Price increased by $1. I'm still buying in, right? With secure future. If you will buy in on $1, right? First, you will help the project because price will go even further more. Second, you're obviously losing because you're getting less than what you're supposed to get, right? 10,000 token instead of 100 if you invest a year ago. But pay attention here. You secured, you see here? You secured a year ago the APY. When you invest through the secure future, you basically locked the APY. So what that means is that even if you invest and you will only going to get 10,000 tokens, 10,000 of Doge token, you will have that 100,000 token basically rewarded because they've been promised to you and they've been locked for you by the project. So in other words, you will generate 1,100%, 1,100% ROI if you will inject your money and buy at $1. In other words, if you will have those tokens based on $1, that means that you will generate basically $100,000 by making that decision, right? So it makes sense that someone will not going to give away $100,000. Most likely what will happen, they will say, I don't want to keep the Venus reward. I want to give it away. And I will explain in a second what's going on to this money. And I want to pick up this 100,000. So in other words, I give you a ticket to see if the future is good for you. And if it does, I will let you to change your mind. And here you say, okay, I give away my $1,000 reward from Venus. I want the $100,000 of Dogecoin. Now, let's say bad scenario. Let's say the project drop, right? 50%, right? So if the project dropped 50% and you will go to Venus, you are only going to generate $1,000 from your money from Venus, right? But look what's happened here. Since we locked the $100,000 tokens in the secure floor, if you will execute this order, you will gain $5,000 of value of tokens, right? So you still see if the project go up, it makes sense for you to execute. If the project go down, it makes sense for you to execute. Actually, it doesn't matter which direction the project will go. It makes sense for you to execute. The only way that it will be equal to Venus is that if the price will drop by 90%, crash 90%. But even then, it makes sense that you will execute because if Dogecoin crashed 90%, probably it's the rock bottom and you want to buy in because you will have 110% ROI, right? to pick up. So basically you're buying from the bottom. So the point that I'm trying to say is that, let me go back here to this place. When somebody is about to go to Venus, is about to go to Compine, is about to go to any staking company and put his money for staking, it's better for him to put the money there through the secure future, because then he can have two options, to invest or not to invest. So actually he's investing without investing. His investing took place without him approved the investment yet, right? And over the time, you may see here, I don't know, people invest in Venus, but they keep a ticket, right? Like a lottery ticket on Dogecoin, and they say, I have the right to change my mind and invest in Doge. And you may see here pending money. You may see $10 million pending money, $100 million pending money, $5 million pending, whatever, right? So that money that is pending is meaning that people send money to Venus, but they still basically can have the right to change their mind and invest in Doge in the same price that it used to be, right? And what will happen is that there will be speculation, which means if you will come over here and see $100 million pending on Doge, people are going to start to speculate, and they're going to say, what's going to happen to that $100,000 or $100 million? Is it going to 100% going to be canceled and people going to stay with Venus? Or is 100% going to execute and that entire money will go to PancakeSwap pool? Or it's going to be some kind of a number like statistic? I think over the time, there will be statistic how many people cancel versus how many people executing, right? But between, there will be speculation. People going to say, okay, if 50% going to cancel and the other 50% going to inject, that means that out of 100 million or out of 10 million or whatever the number pending is, 50% of that going to be injected to PancakeSwap. And we're going to even add here a pro forma that's going to show what will happen to the price of the Dogecoin if that amount will be injecting to PancakeSwap or to the pool, wherever the pool is, right? And we will show what will happen to the price. So I think what will happen is that people are going to say, you know what, I'm pending, you pending, Joe Schmo pending. There is so many people that pending, and the first guy that executing is the first guy to buy this price, right? And the next guy doesn't have this price anymore because the market go up. So the next guy that is taking, the price go up. The next guy that is taking, the price go up. So every time you're basically executing, the price keep going up. So the next guy have a real-time price, but it's higher than the guy before. So there will be, instead of rest to the bottom, there will be a rest to the top, right? So we reverse the entire concept. Some of the people may go to PancakeSwap directly and buy directly from the pool before the entire this money will inject, because they want to catch the price before that money. It's like a, think about it like options that about to expire every Friday, and you want to catch the market before they're going to inject into long, and you want to catch the price before it's booming, right? So as you can see here, what we created with PDO is basically, we didn't invent the need. We didn't invent the need. There is no need to educate people buying token of existing project. All we did is give them a better price and no front running, no slippage, and the project enjoy from the entire money without the front running, right? So the entire money basically utilizing to increase the value of the token. If the project can do hybrid and some of the money go to the pool, some of that go to the team, some of that go to buy early investor from the dumper shield, so the project can decide how we want to split. You can see here all the details about the offering, and you can even see how the project is splitting the proceed, the money, right? Everything is transparent. So in other words, we hijacking traffic, and if today there is billions of dollars coming into the DEXs, it will make sense that those billions will come here, right? Because it's hijacking that traffic. And if it's there, if there is a tens of billions of dollars coming to protocols, staking protocol, it makes sense that they will come to those protocols through here, because it gives to those people that's staking better and more than what they can achieve. It's give them double position, like multi-position. right? Quantum finance. They can invest without investing. They can change their mind even though the past, the future already move on and the past already behind. So they can still go back in time and change their mind and invest like nothing changed, right? So this is the power of PDO. It's first of its kind. There is no any project in the world that ever put its goal to basically helping existing project. And you know, a lot of projects have IDO or have newsletters or have communities of members, or they have traffic, or they're serving project, and that kind of partners that we're looking for. We're looking for partners that willing to basically apply for grant, and if they get approved, they will have their own PDO and they can run their own PDO and can generate their own income stream, right? And I will want to share here also the tokenomic for the PDO, so we can basically see what is going on, because we're about to go live soon. So here we go. Tell me when you can see the Excel. All right, so the idea of the PDO is that we're starting with a baseline price of 0.5 cent, right? And then there is a stake-in for 90 days for 430% APY. So in other words, if you have a token, you double that. So it's basically double the amount of the token that you're receiving. So instead of 0.5 cent, now it's become to be 1/4 cent, right? And then what will happen, the listing price on the market and everywhere else will be 0.02, which means it's like having basically 8x, 87%, basically a discount from the listing price. So in other words, it's like you have 8x right from the get-go, right? Immediately 8x. So this one is basically designed for added value communities. So in your case, you're running basically a fundraising. So whoever want to invest and you have a small amount, it can come to you and you will syndicate them, and you will have a permission to come here on the ground floor as a partner and join to that level. And then we're running something that we don't have time to explore what it is, but it's also something new that's called IBO, that will allow the investor to basically invest in the liquidity pool, but basically without losing the money. There is a kind of a very interesting protection that is blowing mind. And the terms here is less than here, right? You can see here it's basically 50% discount over the market. And then we will have ongoing basically for LP to keep investing. And there will be basically offering based on a little bit below the market. And then we will do PDO for PDO. We'll run PDO for our own PDO, right? And what that means is that we'll do offering, and there will be short-term and long-term. You see here, 2 stake-in, each reward, different reward. And what we will do, we will use the proceed from the PDO, 50% of that go to the pool, like I showed before, buying, injecting, creating liquidity pool, and the other 50% basically going to the dumper shield. By the way, a few words about what is the dumper shield. Dumper shield, it's another technology that we created that is very interesting because it's so different. It's allow you to vest without vesting. So instead of having a lock time, like today, when you're doing initial offering, people lock your token for some time, right? So the PDO, the dumper shield basically can allow the user to decide how long the lock will be. It's basically give them the right to decide if they want to make it longer, shorter. That's number one. And believe me that there will be an interest for those that have a lot of token to make it longer. And the reason for that, because the dumper shield, it's designed during the vesting token, right? During the period of time to bring liquidity to you. So there is a mechanism that allow you to engage with liquidity during the vesting time. So hopefully after the vesting time is over, you will not need to sell because you already sold. Or maybe you don't want to sell because the price is booming and the rest to the bottom, or the willing to sell, it's no longer there, right? So the idea of the dumper shield is to engage user during the vesting time with liquidity. So the sell pressure that's usually happening and the rest to the bottom who sell first will not be there anymore, right? At the end of the vesting. So the damper shield is very cool, first of its kind solution. I believe a lot of projects are going to utilize it in order to do vesting better than the current vesting today, because the vesting is not really good. So the damper shield is by far better because it's not really vesting. It's a way to engage liquidity with user, but in a way that do not hurt the project, do not hurt existing players, do not hurting the price in the market. So it's really blowing mind. We can do a different session about it. So and another thing is that when somebody is investing in the pre-sale here, after the staking is going to the damper shield. So in other words, the money that we're raising from the PDO, from the staking, and I remind you that the big amount that coming in is usually from staking and not from pre-sale, we driving 50% of that to buy out early investors. So those that will invest in basically in the early stage, in the pre-sale, will be buyout from those that will come later on to the PDO. And by the way, we run the numbers because it's pools and mathematics, so it's easy to run the numbers. And I can tell you that even if the listing price is 0.02, if we'll inject to the pool $1 million, only $1 million, let's say $1 million been injected to the pool, right? The price of the token will not be 0.02. It will be $2. So we're talking about 100x. Now 100x, it's not 100x because those guys bought with 8x from the get-go. So for those guys, like 800x, right? Now, how far it will go, if it's going to be 100x, 10x, 1000x, 10,000x, nobody knows, right? But this project is so, interesting because it's hijacking traffic that already exists, and we already know that this traffic worth billions, right? So that's why it's very interesting. And here you can see basically the split. You can see how much will go to the SAF, the pre-sale, the staking, rewarding. And pay attention, there is something called router, treasury, and team and founder, right? So router meaning that we have a unique model that when somebody is investing in any of our project, doesn't matter which one, we have ability to allow our users, our investors, to move between different projects. So let's say you invest in a project and let's say you got 800x, right? And let's say your $1,000, $10,000 become to be 80 million. Maybe there is not enough to cash out, because the fact that you have 80 million on paper, it doesn't mean that there is 80 million daily trading and you can immediately sell it, right? Daily trading, it's not profit, right? So you can also need daily trading. So maybe we have other projects with a lot of traffic and daily trading. So you can basically take your position from this project and burn it and mint the same face value on other project and basically exit from there. So we allow basically our user to use the router and move between our project. So if one of them is booming even more or have more liquidity, you can actually move between projects, right? So it's more diversified. So open the door for you for 20 other projects. And pay attention that there is no treasury token. We don't have treasury token. We don't have even team token, right? If I want to buy token, I need to buy token, right? If every other developer that we have or advisor that we have and they want to have tokens, they need to buy tokens, or they need to use the router to move from different projects, or they need to give away equity from the company, from the mother company. So in other words, there is no free token, not even to my grandmother. Everybody need to pay for it, right? Or give value for that. And our business model, by the way, is called correlated business model, which means every time we're doing basically transaction on the PDO, and we get fees, 80%, not 8, not 9, not 10, 80% of that fee will be used to go to buy back the token from the market and burn it. So in other words, it's like, instead of go invest in Amazon or Tesla and wait for Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos to do dividend, which they usually don't do, you don't need to wait for that. 80% of the income stream actually going back to the investor by increasing the value of the token and burn from the market. So you all year long going to have a buy pressure to the token. It's not like Uniswap that they have $1 billion fees that been paid to LPs, but there is no correlation between Uniswap to Unitoken. They're not correlated. If they was correlated, imagine yourself $1 billion instead of give to LP, use the $1 billion fee to buy the unit token from the market and give to LP unit token. Imagine yourself what will happen to the unit token if you have a buy pressure all year long, right? From people that swapping and those fees that pushing the price. So here, everything is correlated and the token is acting like a royalty. So we're distributing back 80% of the income stream back to the investors, right? So that's the tokenomic. It's a very unique one, very interesting one. And I think now it's a time for questions, right? So you can take questions by chat or unmute people if there is any that want to talk.
Robbie, I see you raising your hand. Do you need to be unmuted?
Yeah, thank you, Kyle. Yeah, so can you hear me?
Yep,
You-
yeah,
Yes.
I can
Okay,
hear you.
cool. Perfect. Yeah, thank you for your comprehensive breakthrough and explanation, about all this stuff. I believe that we need more time for, like for you to explain what is damper shield and all of this stuff. So I would like to ask about the tokenomic itself. You mentioned that the total supply is like 3 point something billion. Is that the cap number or is it mintable?
All right, good. So first pay attention that, let me share again this Excel. All right,
Sure.
pay attention that do you see here that there is a question mark?
Yeah.
Right. So the reason for that is because every time someone buying, the price go up, right? So first, we don't know how much money will be raised from the PDO, but what we do know is that 100% of that money go to the liquidity pool and the damper shield to buy out early investors. Now you can see here that we put here allocation for the IBO, and so any leftover that will be left over will go to the PDO. So there is no leftover go to the team or treasury. Whatever we don't sell on this stage, it's moving to PDO. Whatever didn't sell on this stage, we're going to the PDO. So all the tokens that we have, they're all been used, as you can see here, in order to increase value of the token to the investor. And by the way, if you see on the market cap, you see that there is no market cap. There's no token in the market. Nobody have token, not even me. Nobody have, when you will go to the market, there is no sell pressure. Nobody have tokens. Whoever going to buy in the pre-sale will have basically the staking, and after that we'll have the damper shield, and basically whoever going to do the IBO as well. So by the way, IBO is standing for initial bond offering, so it's a different conversation for something new that we're going to bring into the market. And basically those that will going to have tokens, they will not going to be like every time I see it again and again, every time project go to the market, it's doing like that and immediately like that, right? So there is a very sharp dive, right? Sometimes even below the listing price, right? And that's because a lot of people receive free tokens, there was a lot of pump and dump, there was a lot of advisory or early investors or team that dump tokens. So here you're not going to see it, right? So there is no more basically token that exist on the treasury or the team. Zero. There is a zero. Everything here, it's a final, and whatever is not sold on the PDO will not go into the market. So you will never going to see it in the market as a sell pressure.
Perfect. And regarding the, when do you plan to make this live, and also the token, when is your plan to get it listed? Basically,
Yeah, so
TPE.
we're really planning to go live very, very shortly. We have few partners that preparing their licensing. So for example, Dex Tools, they have 6 to 12 million user a day, right?
Yeah.
6 to 12. And they're right now preparing their own launchpad. Sorry, not launchpad, the PDO pad. So obviously, once all the partners will be ready and we will do the coin telegraph, you immediately going to have exposure to millions, tens of millions actually users and a lot of project instantly. So it will go like from poof, like that, right? It will explode because immediately you're basically engaging with big audience.
Okay. You also mentioned that you, if I'm not mistaken, you would like to give the opportunity for our community to invest in the pre-sale stuff.
Yeah, so since you're a partner, I will let you in here on the ground floor, even though we're about to close it. I will let you to basically have a SAFT, so you will act as a syndicator. Any user from your community or other community that want to join to your syndication, you need to contact you. You can share with them how to do that. And they need to, you basically need to syndicate the money. So we will have a contract with you. We cannot sign a contract with many individuals.
Yeah.
And they will get as a community, they will get basically the same terms that you see over here, which means they will get 8x discount right from the door, right?
Noted. Yeah, cool. I haven't had this kind of Excel, or maybe if you have like a pitch deck, it will be better if you can send me so that I will try to spread out a Google form. We will, share it with our private partners group, and then we will try to collect the funds. Then yeah, we will let you know what is the total amount that we would like to invest in the pre-sale stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
What other Christian people have?
I think a lot. Some people are asking question in the chat.
So I went through most of the questions in the chat, Yoda. But one that you might want to address is, so the secure future is almost like an option where the premium is simply to stake in the token via Venus.
You can address the secure future in many explanation ways, right? And call it in different ways, but I will not want to tie it into an options because the word option is makes sense because it's give you an option. But in the crypto market, we start to see more and more projects that actually acting as an options, and the word option is meaning something else to a lot of people today. So you don't want to use that word, even though it makes sense to use it. But option, an option in the crypto market, it's become to be like option in the stock market. So it's not like option. I give you position to decide if you want it or don't want it. Option is long and short. So you don't want to tie the PDO to a word called option. But I like to use the word like you're basically doing whatever you do today, and you keep kind of a ticket to change your mind and go back in time and pick up an offering that theoretically is not there anymore. It's supposed to be expired, right? But it's still there for you. You can see the future first, you can go back in time, and you can execute, an offering that is even a year ago. So yeah, it give you more possibilities, more positions, but I will not tie it to the word option just because what I said. What else?
Someone asked about the security measures since the audit is going to take so long.
So we have, I mean, usually when you're doing a project, let's say Uniswap, right? So Uniswap is like, version 2, it's like a 300 line of code, right? PDO, and we have projects that even by far more than PDO. So PDO is like 3,400 line of code, right? And it's keep building. So it will be soon even 5,000 once we'll introduce more tools. So it's a lot of lines of code, and we run a lot of testing, and we also have an in-house auditing, and we're going to also do outsourcing auditing as well. So you can never say, okay, oh, a project been auditing, so that means it's 100% bulletproof. I don't want to give to people, the impression that anything in the industry is a bulletproof. Even if it's been audited, sometimes you need to question who audited that, you know? So I think the best approach for people is when you're investing, if you cannot lose what you invest, don't lose, right? Don't invest. So that's the better approach. And even if it's been audited and even if it's been tested, and you can see that we've done a lot of testing in the last few months, and we're doing even mainnet testing. So we're doing a lot of checking and testing and auditing and stuff like that, but nothing is a bulletproof. So I don't want everybody to think, hey, it's a bulletproof. There is no bulletproof code in the world, right? Everything can happen in anything. So that's the good approach for people to take. But we will continue to add more and more auditing, more and more testing, more and more everything. And I can ensure to people one thing, that they can be relaxed. And I can guarantee to them that we're for sure going to have issues. For sure. Don't worry. We will have issues. We'll have bugs, we'll have issues, we'll continue to develop in the next 20 years, because that's life. That's how tech works. Even Google have issues, even Microsoft have issues. There is no tech in the world issue-free. There's no exist, right? So as long as you have team that is dedicated to keep improving and everything, so that's the spirit. That's how it's supposed to work. But there is nothing is perfect in this world, okay?
Okay, so I wanted to, I guess, we'll let Yoda get some sleep here after a fantastic AMA.
I already wake up.
I wanted to discuss kind of D-vouchers.
Do we cover the main question, or there is any others?
Yeah, there's nothing that I see in here that wasn't covered.
That was a good presentation, because a lot of people agree with stuff that I said.
So,
maybe Kyle, maybe it's an opportunity for you to explain about
yeah, I was going to go over that real quick here for everybody.
Yeah.
So as a lot of you may know, we did a Gleam competition for this AMA to increase the exposure that Robby and Yoda could get today. We had a little over 100 people participate. We picked winners. If you go to our Twitter, you can see the list of winners. And what we're going to do is, after Gleam fixes the export button, because they don't have an export button available right now, we will distribute what is called a D voucher. Now, D vouchers are able to be swapped for any of our projects through the router that Yoda was mentioning earlier. And they will stay behind as a second level in the dumper shield. That technology will be coming soon, but we will distribute your D vouchers. They'll come in the form of an NFT, and you'll be able to go from there. We're going to have an entire site dedicated to D vouchers with all our nice branding attached to it, where you can participate even beyond this AMA in our different competitions. That's going to help us with marketing, and that's just going to help us as a community. So yeah, really thank you everyone for participating in the Gleam. I already sent a support ticket to Gleam to get the export function working, to make sure that we can distribute your D voucher NFTs as quickly as possible.
And by the way, Kyle, when it's come to the D voucher, what people need to understand is that once you have a D voucher, there is different type of D voucher. There is basically those that gold, platinum, silver, and so forth. So each one of them have a different value, and they can basically convert. First, you can sell them as an NFT to somebody else, but they can also be convert to any project that we have in the ecosystem. So if you have a, let's say, $1,000 value of D voucher, you can basically use the router that I mentioned earlier and give away this voucher and basically pick up tokens that they have the same face value of $1,000 on any of our projects. So basically, it's a door, it's a ticket that allow you to either hold and see which project you're interested in, or you can basically go ahead and convert that ticket, that D voucher, to any project that you believe that is going to be the next big thing. And or you can sell it. It's an NFT. You can sell it to somebody else and he will do that and you will cash out, right? So that's basically the D voucher concept.
So yes, thank you everyone for joining. I'm going to unmute Robbie here just to see if he has anything to add before we close today.
I think I'm good. I mean, if you guys don't mind, Yoda and Kyle, you can join our Telegram group. So maybe if some of us still have questions, we can tag you in our group chat, and then you can, you know, provide some answers to enlighten our community for this new thing. And regarding the pre-sales stuff, I think tomorrow we'll keep in touch, and let's see how we can bring it from there, you know, because we need some more information from you guys, like the Excel sheet and all this stuff, you know.
Yeah, there is also white paper and light paper and basically all that information that you can share with people. So if they want to read, and also we'll provide you a link of this video for those that want to play back, and those that missed, they can basically listen to that again.
That would be great. We can also upload it in our YouTube channel, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Good idea.
Sure. Thank you, Yoda. Thank you, Kyle, for making time and attending this AMA and share with our community. Thank you.
Yeah,
right,
thank you,
super.
Robbie. Thank you, Kommunitas community. You guys are fantastic. Just thank you all.
All right,
Okay,
super.
bye.
All right, cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers. Get some sleep, Yoda.
Cheers. Bye-bye.